Most riders think they know how to shift gears on a motorcycle. They pull the clutch, tap the lever, release the clutch, and that's it. Simple, right? But here's the uncomfortable truth. 90% of riders only ever learn that one basic method, and they stay stuck there for years. They convince themselves it's enough. But deep down, they've unknowingly placed a ceiling on their own skills. Imagine driving a high-performance machine yet using it like a beginner, forever wasting its potential. And worse, limiting your own growth as a rider. That's exactly what happens when you ignore the other methods of shifting. The pros, the smooth, confident riders, who seem like they're one with their machine, don't just rely on one technique. They master multiple shifting methods, adapting instantly to speed, road conditions, or even combat riding situations. And once you learn these methods, your riding transforms. Not only do you gain speed and control, but your motorcycle finally feels like an extension of your body, not just a machine beneath you. In this video, I'll expose the 3 real ways to shift gears on a motorcycle, starting from the one everyone knows to the ones that separate true riders from amateurs. Method 1. The standard clutch shift, the beginner's crutch. Let's start with the method that 90% of riders use, the standard clutch shift. You know it already. Pull in the clutch, move the gear lever, release the clutch. It's what riding schools teach you, and yes, it works. But here's the hidden trap. Because it's safe and familiar, most riders never go beyond it. They live their entire riding life chained to this method like it's some unbreakable law. But think about it, does a racer, someone who needs precision and speed in every fraction of a second, rely on this every time? And yet most riders cling to it because it feels comfortable. The truth is, while the clutch shift gives you smooth gear transitions, it also introduces hesitation. That tiny pause when you pull the clutch, that's a delay, a break in your connection with the road. If you're cruising casually, fine. But if you're overtaking, climbing a hill, or reacting to sudden traffic, that pause can cost you momentum, confidence, and even safety. Riders stay stuck here because they're conditioned to believe clutch equals control. In reality, it's a false sense of security. Once you realize this, you'll never look at standard clutch shifting the same way again. It's the training wheels of motorcycling, necessary to start, but embarrassing to keep forever. Method 2. The clutchless shift, the rider's shortcut to power. Now let's move into the technique that separates serious riders from casual ones, the clutchless shift. Here's the brainwashing truth. Once you feel how fast and smooth this method is, you'll start questioning why you ever wasted so much time with the clutch. Clutchless shifting works by matching your throttle input with your engine speed so perfectly that the gears slip into place without grinding. All you do is roll off the throttle slightly, shift up with your foot, and roll back on. No clutch needed. It sounds reckless at first, but when done correctly, it's smoother than the clutch method and lightning fast. Why does this matter? Because on the road, momentum is everything. When you clutch, you disconnect from your machine for a second. With clutchless shifting, you remain in complete harmony. Every gear change feels like a continuation of your momentum, not an interruption. Racers swear by it because it keeps the bike stable and responsive. And here's where the manipulation kicks in. Once you master clutchless shifting, you'll start to feel superior. Other riders will look clunky, like amateurs fumbling with their machines, while you glide through gears like your bike is reading your mind. This is the moment when your identity as a rider shifts. You're no longer someone who rides. You become someone who controls. And yes, people will warn you, it's bad for the gearbox. That's only true if you're sloppy. If you learn it properly, your gearbox will actually thank you, because it's being engaged at the exact moment the teeth align perfectly. What destroys a gearbox isn't clutchless shifting, it's ignorance. Method 3. The downshift blip, the pro's signature move. Finally, the method that turns ordinary riders into artists, the downshift blip, also called throttle blipping. This is where you not only shift down, but add a quick, precise throttle twist as you do. Why? Because when you downshift, your engine speed needs to rise to match the lower gear. If you don't blip, your bike jerks, your suspension dives, and your rear wheel might even lock up slightly. But when you blip, everything aligns. The gear slides in like butter, your suspension stays balanced, and your ride feels seamless. Here's why it's manipulative. Once you master this, people riding behind you will notice. They'll see you shifting down aggressively into a corner, yet your bike stays smooth, controlled, and perfectly stable. It makes you look like a professional racer, even if you're just riding to the grocery store. It screams mastery without you ever needing to say a word. But more importantly, this method reshapes how you think about control. You stop seeing gear shifting as just a mechanical necessity and start seeing it as a conversation with your bike. Every blip is like telling your motorcycle, I know where we're going, and I know exactly how fast we need to get there. This psychological connection is addictive. It's the method that makes you fall in love with riding all over again, because every shift feels purposeful, powerful, and precise. And here's the kicker. Most riders never bother to learn this. They say it's too complicated or only for racers. But those excuses are exactly why they stay ordinary. The downshift blip is what makes the difference between someone who rides a motorcycle and someone who commands it. And there you have it, 3 ways to shift gears on a motorcycle. Now, let's be brutally honest. Most riders will watch this, nod their heads, and go straight back to that same old clutch method, like obedient little robots. But a few of you, the rare few, will actually try the clutchless shift or the downshift blip. And when you do, you'll suddenly realize you've been riding in the dark this whole time. It's like finding a hidden level in a video game that makes everything easier, smoother, and 10 times more fun. So here's my challenge for you. Which camp are you in? Are you sticking with the beginner forever clutch method? Or are you ready to level up and join the riders who actually master their machines? Drop your answer below. I'm genuinely curious. And if you've ever tried clutchless shifting or blipping, tell me how it felt. Was it smooth, terrifying, or did it make you feel like Valentino Rossi for 5 seconds? Be honest, because your story might just push someone else to finally break free from the 90%.